Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. What a test match we have on our hands. Another incredible day of test cricket. It started off with Joe Root continuing his batting. He finished off 122 not out. Good support from Ollie Robertson. He also got to his 50. A very crucial knock with for him and a big partnership which allowed England to get to 350 plus. And then it was the England bowlers. First of all, initially Anderson getting the breakthrough, picking up Mr. Rohit Sharma, and after that it was Shoaib Bashir. What a spell, man! Picking up 4 wickets. I think उन्हें 25-30 over तो डाल दिया लगातार. Like they didn't switch him. I don't know what the exact thing is, but I thought it was around 32 overs that he bowled. It could have been a bit less, but close to that mark. What a spell from him! Insane. Picked up the wickets. Jadeja, Jaiswal. It was incredible bowling, and someone who's not experienced. India में टप्पे पे डालना हर वक्त ball by ball by ball. इतना accuracy के साथ. I think hats off to him. It was an incredible spell. Really enjoyed that from Shoaib Bashir. Wasn't really expecting it, but there is something in the pitch, and England also showed control. They showed confidence in their bowlers, and right now the match is a situation where England are in front. But this partnership which is going on, let's not underrate this partnership. Dhruv Jurel or Kuldeep Yadav, both went through the tricky period and saw of the day, and they're starting to score runs as well. Agar ye build kar sakte, if they can trim the lead to 50, 40, 30, 20, or even reach England's target, that will be incredible from India. Very good effort. Because मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा भाई जितने ये दिन जा रहा मैच उतना दिन it's going to be difficult to bat. अब पहले inning में आप देखे there was something in for the bowlers, but batsmen were still getting runs. Here again we saw there were some runs on offer, but it was getting difficult. There was the ball keeping low, whether it was to Jaiswal, that delivery, or even Kuldeep Yadav had to survive a few close calls because of the uneven bounce. So मेरे हिसाब से batting will become more difficult. So any lead on this pitch will be crucial. And batting fourth, I think, will be extremely difficult. If India win the test match, it will be an incredible achievement. And that's why I keep England still 65, or actually 70-30 favorites to win this game. There is still a 30% chance, and India have to bat well, not only in this innings, but in the fourth innings as well. Try to cut the lead as much as possible, and then put England under pressure with the ball. मगर अभी तो भाई England जिस तरीके से खेल रहे, Joe Root incredible batting, Shoaib Bashir incredible bowling, Hartley as well. I think he held one end up as well. उन्हें भी लगातार एक end से bowling कर रहा था. He bowled very well. Whenever Anderson was needed, he came and bowled a few overs too. Surprised not to see Joe Root as much. In the post match, he was joking. He was saying, I mean, Stokes can do whatever he wants because I did abuse him when he was bowling. I used to over bowl him and all that. I was still surprising because you saw that over that he bowled, he did get the ball to turn. He beat the outside edge of Kuldeep Yadav. So I was थोड़ा सा मैं सरप्राइज था कि मिस्टर जो रूट डिडंट गेट एज मेनी ओवर्स. बट या जो भी देख रहे हैं, मेक श्योर हिट द लाइक बटन, सब्सक्राइब करना, आपके कमेंट्स भेजो, सवाल पूछो. It's looking like a very interesting series, and it's going to be very exciting tomorrow as well. Like I said, there's still this partnership going on. The way Dhruv Jurel batted, he looks confident. He's got the scoring shots going. He's hit a 6 as well. And if him and Kuldeep Yadav can bat a bit deep, let's say 1.5 hours tomorrow, then India have a chance to turn something around. Right now it does look a bit difficult. Rohit Sharma failing today. Patidar again, I feel for him, he doesn't look too out of sorts, but got trapped today. And Shubman Gill again, the ball not turning too much, but it got him. And then the review, England took that worked for them. So yeah, a few batters. I was surprised the elimination chamber. Thank you, Ibrahim, for your message. Hope you're well. I'm surprised it was today. Where is it happening? Is it in Australia? It's in Australia, I think. That's why. But yeah, that was crazy. I didn't watch it all, but I was just seeing some highlights from it. But yeah. So the Indian batters, Patida, Shubman Gill getting off to a start, Jadeja, Sarfaraz Khan, all getting to starts. Magar, it's a tricky pitch. It's not very easy to score big runs, and that's why whenever you're set, you need to still be aware that one can keep low, one can think so. And that's where I think the toss was very important over here, and as it was in the last few games, and England are taking advantage of it. Now, if you look at it from England's point of view, they have to maximize this. They need to get India all out as soon as possible. If they get a 100-run lead, that's absolute gold. फिर pressure India पे पड़ेगा, फिर India को आके all out करना पड़ेगा England को, और फिर चौथी inning में England और pressure डाल सकते हैं. They can set aggressive fields, and if they have enough runs on the board, they can play with the field a bit, and actually win this game and take the series to Dharamshala 2-2. And that's what England, I'm sure, will be looking to do. But yeah, overall, it's been It's been a great series so far. It's been a great test match this as well. England coming back, you have to give them credit. A lot of people are counting them out. पिछले मैच के बाद 400 रन के बाद हारे कोई टीम तो आप you will criticize them. Like, and I think this kind of team, you don't know what to expect from them. One day it's baseball, one day something else. But right now they are in the game. Joe Root was asked about the reverse sweep from Sunil Gavaskar. He did say that I was thinking about it, but on a pitch like this is very difficult. But that's not to say that Joe Root won't play the reverse sweep again just because he got 100 here. He plays according to the conditions. If it is a flat pitch, which we saw in the summer in England, which we saw in the last 2-3 test matches, he will pull out that reverse sweep. Lekin yahan pe jab uneven bounce hai, the ball is keeping low, you're getting extra bounce. So now you just see the two dismissals, the Jaiswal's dismissal and Apke Jadeja's dismissal. The Jadeja one, there was the extra bounce, wrapped him on the gloves, and then the Jaiswal kept low a bit. And that is why Joe Root as a batsman as well adjusted. He didn't go for the high risk shots because it didn't allow him. The conditions didn't allow him to do that. Magar that's not to say कि भाई उन्हें फिर से try नहीं करेंगे. उन्हें 100% बिल्कुल फिर से मेरे को यकीन है कि he is going to play the reverse sweep. लेकिन according to the conditions, that's what he's going to do. Situation तो like जो भी हो, Joe Root is a master batsman. I think he's outstanding. And now if you look at it in the context of this game, after seeing India bat as well, it was an incredible innings and it could be a match-defining innings over here. And from India's point of view, like I'm saying, the first thing they have to do is try to cut this lead as much as possible. Kuldeep Yadav and Jurel have got off to a start now. It can be frustrating. Agar un log आधा घंटा 1 घंटा batting कर लिया, then England will look to be a bit more desperate for wickets, and that will open up the field as well. थोड़ा गलतियां भी रहेंगे, they will get some freebies, and that's where India have to capitalize. Cut it as much as possible, and then try to get England all out. That's what they have to do. If Kuldeep Yadav and Dhruv Jurel can get centuries, then nothing like it. लेकिन हाँ, it will be tough. It won't be easy. आप देख लो pitch के conditions already बिगड़ है. It's not the flat deck that we thought it would be. It is turning. It is ripping a bit. We were getting uneven bounce, and it will be very, very challenging for the batters. And that's why I feel that England are ahead of this test match despite the partnership going on. So the Perth Australia the optist, yeah, that's what I assume. That's why it happened. Like at this, it's kind of an awkward time for it to happen. But I guess you gotta also take into consideration the Asia crowd, Australia, New Zealand, all these guys, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. I think Randy Orton also did the RKO, didn't he? But yeah, that's what it looks like right now in the India-England match. England are in front. I also have to, again praise Ben Stokes' brilliant captaincy. The way he rotated his bowlers, giving Shoaib Bashir such a long spell, you would say that thoda bahut usko, they could have rested him, rotated him, but because he was bowling with so much confidence and he wasn't giving that many loose deliveries, if you start giving those pies and loose balls, it will become very difficult for you to sustain him. But because he was bowling well, Ben Stokes backed him. Then he picked up the Jaiswal. I think just before the Jaiswal's wicket, if I was captain, I would have maybe switched to bring Joe Root in. But man, because Joe Root can do the similar kind of job, right? Like, spin it away from the left-hander. He can get that extra bounce too. He can, get the ball to grip. But he kept him on and then got the wicket of Jaiswal. So that was incredible captaincy from Stokes. Keeping the in-out field, if you notice the Sarfaraz dismissal, he kept cover deep. Or aapka, I think square leg bhi deep tha. No, square leg ko andar leke aa gaya tha initially. And cover ko deep leke andar leke aaya. So he was trying to encourage the cut. That's what I'm trying to say. He was trying to the cut and the sweep shot, the big shot, and that's what happened. He tried to play a shot. He got out at slip, and that's exactly what you want from your captain, to think on his feet, think ahead of the game, making the batsman make moves. Because of your fielding positions and your bowling changes. And yeah, it was incredible from Stokes, man. He's shown that he can be consistent in terms of giving bowlers a long spell. He can be inconsistent. He can change things around. He can try different things, and that's the beauty of his captaincy. And he is patient. Ab jitna bhi bolo unhe, you Baz ball is high octane cricket and all that, but he is patient. You can see with his the way he handles his bowlers and fielders, he's not too spontaneous as a captain, and that sometimes does help you if you are patient. Of course, there has to be that right balance, and I think he's cracking it slowly but surely. Now he will be tested tomorrow if this partnership continues to grow and India cut the lead under 100. Then his captaincy will be tested. Ben Stokes का और bowlers का भी इम्तिहान होगा. लेकिन मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है जैसा पीछे अभी जो हम देख रहे हैं, it will be difficult for India to get close to England, but not impossible. It won't be impossible. there. And yeah, again, there will be criticism of Patidar, there will be criticism of Gail, Rohit Sharma, and India will, need to come back stronger. And I think also yesterday, bowling wise, they should have been a bit more ruthless. You had them 112 for five. You have to give Joe Root credit, no doubt, but I think India could have put a bit more pressure on folks. They could have tried something a bit different and try to pick up the wicket. And yes, Ibrahim Bhai said Mushid has scored a double century for Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy quarterfinals. It was an incredible innings. Sarfaraz didn't score that many runs today, but his brother did, and I'm sure it's a proud moment for the family. Sarfaraz has been dominating Ranji Trophy, and now it's his brother who's starting to dominate. I mean, double century in a quarterfinal. Hats off to him. He's just 18, 19 years old. He is under 19, so hats off to him. A very, very special knock from Mushir Khan. We've got the PSL El Clasico today as well. Lahore Qalandars versus the Karachi Kings. वो शुरू हो रहा है अभी. I think 7-8 मिनट में शुरू होने वाला है. It's Shaheen Shah Afridi take on Shan Masood, the Test captain versus the T20 captain. We've also got the UP Warriors playing against the RCB in the women's IPL. Kal jo match tha bhai, incredible match. Mumbai needing 5 of 1 and the ball going for 6. That was crazy start to the WPL. Shah Rukh Khan was also present. You had Shahid Kapoor there. You had a lot of stars. And a very, very good start to the tournament. I think if you just look at it from a cricketing point of view, entertainment to tha, bilkul. You had a great opening ceremony. Lekin, to add to that, the main thing why you watch cricket, the entertainment in the game, man. 5 of 1, what a thriller. Hitting a 6 and winning the game, that was crazy. But yeah, UP Warriors are going to bowl versus the RCB. They've won the toss. और फिर आपके जो Qalandars or Kings का match है, Karachi have won the toss and they've elected to field first. There is pressure on the Lahore Qalandars, especially Shaheen Shah Afridi, because they've lost all 3 games, and this is a big game. This is against the rivals Karachi, and they'll be looking to get off the mark. They haven't won a game till now in the PSL, so they will be very much looking to try to get some points on the board and get a victory. So that's also going to be a very, very good game. So yeah, plenty of cricket. We got the Ranji Trophy, we got the PSL, WPL, फिर आपका ये series. This series is turning out to be a blockbuster, mind you. Abhi, especially if England win this game, which right now they look like they will. If they do, then 2-2 going 3-2. I don't remember a series in India going till or any series that, for that matter of fact, where it's 2-2 going into the 5th test. You get some draw somewhere. Ibrahim Bhai asked me, do you think the test could end in a draw? I don't think so, unless a barish pad gayi or there's bad light, or you get overs cut, like a good 50-60 overs cut, or like 80, like a day misses out, then okay, tika. But you're going to day 3, you're already at the end of the first innings for both teams. England will surely bat tomorrow. Then that 3rd inning starts. They will bat probably max day 4 halfway, and then India will bat. I think this will finish day 4, day 5. I do not see a draw. And also, forget about the context what I just said, but just look at the pitch and conditions. I don't think it's a pitch where you can play for a draw. Agar aap survive karne ke, there's going to be one ball with your name on it, and that's it. You're going to be back to the pavilion. So agar mere se puche to draw nahi hone wala hai match. It's going to be most likely England win, otherwise India win. I think if India play out of the skin, we get to see some sensational batting tomorrow from Dhruv Joel and Kuldeep Yadav, and they cut the lead, then they bowl fantastically well, then we'll get to see something. Otherwise, I see an England victory on the cards. Again, I did see India victory in Hyderabad, and things change, so you don't even know in Test cricket. But in terms of result, I don't see a draw unless there are overs cut from the game. CSA domestic season heading for close, and there's only one tournament left for each division, being T20 and promoting, and relegation battle is very close. I mean, I also saw that what's his name, Dezorzi put up like this crazy funny reel about like Valentine. He was asking all his players about the routines and this and that. I mean, it was a funny video. It wasn't like anything serious. He was saying himself, this guy is not celebrating. This guy is going to do this. He's going to get chocolates. He's not going to do anything. It was a funny kind of video. I think it was during the CSA situation, I think. But yeah, I mean, good to know. I don't have as much knowledge in that league, but if remember you've been following pretty well. So I mean, it's always good to get your input, regarding South African cricket, especially South African domestic cricket. And it's always a good learning curve for us, me, Faz, and everyone who joins us. You do provide a lot of information that helps us as well gain knowledge. But yeah, I think today the player of the day has to be Shoaib Bashir. I think outstanding. इतना experience नहीं है उसके पास, लेकिन इंडिया में ऐसी bowling करना, टप्पे पे bowling, consistently hitting that line and length, being patient as well, bowling over after over. It is also draining. You can see he started getting cramps towards the end after the tea session. He did pull up a bit. So I think you have to give him a lot of credit, and Ben Stokes for backing him as well. जब आप ऐसे tour पे आते सबसे it's the most difficult tour, India tour, right? India and Australia have to be the toughest touring places for any international team. You can ask any player, you can ask any journalist, commentator, I'm sure that's what they'll say. And for him, with not many games under his belt, to come and bowl these many overs and with so much conviction, so much confidence, and also success, matlab usne 4 wicket le liye is a potential 5-4 on the cards for him tomorrow. I think hats off to him, incredible achievement. And also for the management backing him, they dropped him for a test in between. He came back strong, he wasn't too nervous. I'm sure the first test did give him a bit of confidence. His first test, his debut test, and now the second test, he looks a bit more confident. He is bowling with a lot of guile, and he knows exactly, he has plans in his head how he's going to approach it. Whether it's the right hand batsman, left hand batsman, he's finding ways to get them out. I think congratulations to him, his whole family, and the team management जो उसको back कर रहे हैं इतने सालों से. Finally he's gotten his, I mean, he's very young, but still, like, he's born in 2003, so he's only like 20, 21 years old. But his journey has been brilliant, and the way he's been picked up, like, through a WhatsApp video shared by Stokes with McCullum and Robert Key. It's a crazy story. The promotion and relegation in CSS system is based on the team's overall performances across the 3 formats. So if you win a tournament, you get 15 points. If you finish, oh man, that's interesting. I mean, it's a different way to look at it. Kind of confusing. I think it does get complicated that way, but it's crazy that the rewarding all tournaments also allows you to focus on each tournament. So you don't take the red ball format lightly or the white ball format lightly. Aapko har, jo bhi team utar rahi hai, like, you're representing your team, you got to do well in each format, and you got to put out a strong team because there is something on the line. So I guess it's a way to also keep that interest in the red ball too, right? Like, a lot of players will say, let's just play T20 cricket. We'll play the T20 local format, then we'll go play leagues, forget the red ball. But because the red ball, it counts to, the tournament and everything, it's a good way to engage as well. I don't think it's a solution, because there's no solution to beating franchise cricket. बहुत मुश्किल है अभी फिल वक्त because of the money involved. लेकिन फिर भी I think it's a decent kind of rule. Might be a bit confusing, but it's a decent rule where you involve all formats and it keeps you on your toes. Like, for example, if I'm playing for a particular team, whether it's red ball or white ball, I know that, like, this is going to count to the overall thing, and so I have to play. And also it allows the captain as well. He has to make changes. He has to understand which format can he play his best player. It's a good challenge, I think. It could be confusing, but it's a good challenge. But yeah, I'm just looking at the overs bowled today. Anderson 12 over, Ollie Robinson 9 overs, then Shoaib Bashir, here you go, 32 overs. I don't know how many of those were in a row, but it has to be close to 30, maybe like 27, 28 in a row. Tom Hartley bowling 19 overs, and then Joe Root bowling the 1 over. Maybe, like, if this partnership continues to build, we might see a bit more of Joe Root. That's what I would have liked to see, because Joe une over dala, made 1 run diya shayad usme. Usme bhi bhai saab ne, like, he got the ball to rip a bit, he beat the batters too. So I would like to see a bit more from Mr. Joe Root. You know what I mean, fam? But yeah, pretty much wraps it up. There's the PSL game today, the El Clasico, Lahore Qalandars versus Karachi Kings going on right now. We got the WPL, UP Warriors versus RCB. Brilliant start to the WPL, and hopefully we get to see more entertaining matches, some exciting cricket. Looking forward to all these leagues as well. And also day three is going to be a blockbuster. Hopefully, let's see what happens. Like I said, from India's perspective, is trying to cut down the lead. Kuldeep and Jurel need to continue to bat long hours and score as many runs as they can, whereas England will look to wrap it up, get some sort of lead, and put pressure on India. They'll come, they'll Baz ball it. Again, it'll be interesting to see England's approach, because if they go too aggressive, they might get all out very early, and that keeps India in the game. And this is what this approach does. But if they do bat like they did in the first innings, Joe Root in particular, if someone like that can anchor the innings for them in the second innings, then it can become tough for India. Anything above 250 will be a stiff target. Like, you're still in the game if you're chasing 300, but it's going to be very difficult. I would say 250 max is going to be chased. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I feel. So India need to try and figure out a way where they should chasing around 250 or less than that. And the main thing is to try to cut this lead and then bowl well. I have to apologize to England and English journalists. This pitch is pathetic. They were right all along. Interesting you say that. I mean, it was coming to dekho, aapke paas Jasprit Bumrah nahi tha, so India wanted to go with the strengths, which is the spinners. and they thought it was going to help them to victory. Magar abhi it brings England into the game, because their spinners, they might not be of the quality of Ashwin, Jadeja, Kuldeep, but when the ball turns like that, when there is variable bounce, when it's up and down like that, फिर आपको automatically आप game में आ जाते कार्तिक भाई. और यही हुआ आज. अगर आप देखें, Shoaib Bashir got the ball to turn, he got extra bounce, he got low bounce also. Same thing with Hartley, and that's exactly what happens when you have a turner like this, a pitch like this. It's still not as bad as they were probably describing. I feel that I've seen worse dust bowls where you get all out in for 100, 150, and it's like a 2-day test match. So at least this match is going till day 3 and potentially day 4 too. Lekin, there is. I was kind of expecting, as soon as I saw Bumrah is rested, and that's another food for thought. Jasprit Bumrah, 4th test match. I would still say it's fine that he's rested. You still do have the spinners, and you have Siraj there, and you do have the batting, and more than anything, you could say that 112 for 5, Bumrah would have come and wrapped it up. But also all ifs, buts, and maybes. If the physio said that he cannot play, then he cannot play. Like, he needs rest. You got to see what you can do with the available resources. आप कैसा जीतेंगे ये test match, right? England के पास भी अगर आप देखें, you might not say they have the greatest of spinners, but they find the resources for that particular game and they try to compete, and that's what India have to do. I don't think they can worry too much, but it looks like अगर ये टेस्ट मैच हार गई तो इंडिया तो फिर जसप्रीत बुमराह तो पक्का आएगा नेक्स्ट गेम में 5th में. But rest is required, and it's required. If it is from the team doctor or from the physio, then they don't have a choice. And of course there'll be ifs, buts, and maybes. 112 for 5 Bumrah bowling. He's had the better of Joe Root in this series, so आप बोल सकते हैं कि ठीक है, you're really missing him. If he came, it would have been a different situation, but you can't think of it like that right now because he's not there. It's done, and you got to win with this team, whatever is available. जो आप भी 11 उतार रहे हैं आप फील्ड पे, तो उसके साथ जीतना आपको जरूरी है. लाइक राइट, कोई खेल रहा नहीं खेल रहा कुछ नहीं कर सकता. इतना डिपेंडेंसी बुमराह पे है, मैं समझ सकता हूँ, लेकिन आप वो हर वक्त तो प्रेजेंट नहीं रहेगा वो, राइट? एंड यू हैव टू लुक टू विन विदाउट हिम. You won at the Gabba without him. You can surely win matches at home without him too, and you've done it in the past too. So that's what I would say from that perspective, because I understand it's a miss, but ठीक है. Drought hit pitch. Who prepared this pathetic pitch? भाई इस पे 10 रुपया भी खर्चा नहीं है. एंड वो मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था कि ऐसा होगा, लेकिन फिर भी भाई कार्तिक भाई, जो अहमदाबाद में था, अगर आपको याद है 2021 में इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ, वो और खराब पिच थी. लाइक मतलब उसमें तो आप सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सके एज अ बैट्समैन, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. यहाँ पे फिर भी आप सेंचुरी देखे. जब आप सेंचुरी देखते, दैट मींस ठीक है, देयर इज सम रन्स ऑन ऑफर. यू कांट से इट्स अ टोटली रबिश पिच. दैट्स हाउ आई असेस इट. मेरा जो असेसमेंट है कि ठीक है, इट्स नॉट a great pitch, but there's more. It's skewing in the favor of the spinners, but it's not like जो 2020 जो कोविड सीरीज थी उसमें भाई अक्सर 5-5 विकेट ले रहा था. जो रूट 5-6 विकेट ले रहा था. That was crazier, I think. Still, we saw runs over here. England did get to 300. India have crossed 200. And we're going to day 3, day 4. We've seen pitches in India. There, दिन में match खत्म. Especially in that series, the last time England toured, those were horrendous, man. It was fun. We saw a lot of wickets flying, but yeah, the pitch was absolute dust bowl. That's what I'm saying. This is not an absolute dust bowl, but it is a slow wicket. It is dry, but there is still runs on offer, right? Runs bhi hai, like आप मार सकते हैं अगर आप apply करें. You have to criticize the Indian batsmen today. You need, they should have applied themselves a bit more. Once they got set, they should have looked to convert. That's what I would feel. What are your thoughts on Michael Chandler calling out McGregor for a fight in UFC on WWE? I found that really funny, man. They did the shoey as well in Australia. It's very famous. Jute mein beer dal ke pina. And remember, a lot of controversy when, they were celebrating the World Cup. But that's interesting. I don't have much thoughts on it. Let's see what happens. But interesting, they did it on WWE show. I found that pretty much interesting. On Raw. But yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes the day. We still have a lot of cricket today. Right now, 6-0 Lahore Qalandars against Karachi Kings. We've got the WPL going on. We've got tomorrow, day 3, India versus England. We'll catch you for the review. Hopefully, Faiz will be joining me too. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and you keep staying tuned to Chasing the Target. जो भी latest updates हम लेके आएंगे, and hopefully Karthik भाई का भी advice लेंगे vertical वाला. Rain forecast in Ranchi. Let me just quickly do that before I sign off. Ranchi for weather forecast. I mean, it was gloomy last 2 days, especially second session. Saturday, it's not showing any rain. Sunday, there are droplets. If I look in particular, there's 45% chance, so 50-50 hai maamla. Tomorrow, there's 0% chance of precipitation. So, yeah, I think we're going to get a result. For this test match. And it looks like England ke favor mein. India have to play out of the skin. They have to replicate what England did in Hyderabad. They have to play out of the skin to win this test match. Right now, England are in control and they have to keep going and trying to score. Yes, you have a question, Karthik bhai. Please ask. Please ask. Yes, for sure. I am waiting for you. No problem. Got make sure, Karthik bhai, that you met the FPL deadline. Premier League starts also today, 6 o'clock. We got Manchester United versus Fulham. Then City, Bournemouth, and then aapke Newcastle, Arsenal, Newcastle. There's plenty of football on offer. But yes, please ask me a question. Until I wait for the question, I'll just see the current score in the WPL. 13 for 1. RCB have lost a wicket. They've lost a wicket. Mandana is still batting with Meghna. If that pitch gets water in, would it get better? That's a very good question, but I don't think so, because the pitch is not getting water. It'll be covered if it rains. So there will be some water which seeps through and everything. So thoda bahut farak pad sakta. But in my opinion, the knowledge that I have, you're not actually watering the pitch, which is different. When you actually water it and you can directly absorb it, then it's a bit different. Whereas I think if it rains, you're covering the pitch, right? It covers aa jate and everything. So there'll be a bit of water which seeps through, but it won't be anything drastic. That's what I think. So that's how I'm looking at bro. Like, I don't think it'll make that much of a difference if it rains. And again, like I said, there is a bit of a chance on Sunday, but there's no chance tomorrow from what I've seen on the forecast. So I understand. I like it that you're looking far ahead, looking at the different permutations, possibilities. कुछ भी हो सकता. Like cricket में आप कभी predict नहीं कर सकते. Anything can happen. But right now, as we go into day 3, England are in front. They are in control of this test match. There is a partnership building, and if India continues to build this partnership, they can look to get a miraculous comeback in this game. But like at the same time, England will be the happier side going in. I don't think they're allowed to water the pitch during the match. Can only sweep the dust off. Yeah, I know exactly. But his question was basically, Ibrahim Bhai, that does the if the pitch gets watered by the rain, if it rains, will it help? And I don't think so, because the pitch will be covered. And yes, you can't directly water the pitch during the match. It'll just you can sweep it up and you can apply the roller. और आप कुछ उतार नहीं कर सकते मेरे हिसाब से. So I think that's what it is. In my opinion, it won't change drastically. Again, I could be wrong, so you can double check with somebody else. But in my opinion, they do cover the pitch. And if it does rain, it won't affect the pitch too much, I think. Again, it also depends on how much rain and everything too. RCB curse is real. Yeah, man. Like, what's wrong with RCB, man, and women's team? I don't know, man. I mean, it just started this season. They've lost a wicket. Let's see if they can win this match and get off to a good start. For the men, it's like, man, the thing is, they were close 2-3 times and they just let it slip. They lost in the finals, whether it was against Chennai, against Sunrisers. I think 2016 was the best time for RCB to win an IPL. वहाँ पे उन लोगों की batting बहुत तगड़ी थी. They had KL, De Villiers, Kohli, and the bowling was doing very well as well. I felt that they were a top team that year, but got outclassed by the Sunrisers from Hyderabad. And then after that, man, things have gone wrong in the auction. I would say that, like, I wouldn't only blame the auction. Like, yes, there are times right now, in particular, like, they have holes in their fast bowling, they have holes in the spinning department. Lekin agar aap dekhe, especially the seasons they've done well, they reached the playoffs, they've had good bowling. It's just that, on the day, whether it's captaincy, whether it's field placement, whether it's just, nerves, they've not been able to cross the line. And since then, they have made, that's maybe led to confusion off the field. They made some mistakes in the auction, getting players like the Cameron Green one right now. As of now, I could be wrong because we don't know. I can't predict the future. Lekin I didn't understand that buy, like that trade. Joe is up 17 crore diye usko, later just let him go on to the auction, and you could have got somebody else. You could have got a extra bowler, and you could have got Green too for cheaper. That's what I thought they could have done. I didn't really understand that trade. You already have big hitters in the team. Of course, Cameron Green makes it stronger. Lekin will he be able to bowl 4 overs lagatar and give you that kind of breakthroughs that maybe a Bolt does or a Bumrah or these guys? That's what you have to look at. And I think that's where they've made certain mistakes in recent times at the auction table. But before also, when the auction was pretty much sorted, they had a very good team on paper. They did extremely well in tournaments, but just couldn't get the final the final foot over the line. And for that you can blame a variety of things, but at the end of the day, this is cricket, man. The ground must be haunted. It feels like kids ground good for women team, not for men's team. I mean, you look at it like that, but a lot of people go and they do well. KKR have a good record there. Other teams have done well in Chinnaswamy. So if they can do well, why not RCB? And you have the players who can take advantage of the situations. You see, over the past, they've had Dale Steyn, they've got UC Chahal, you've got Kevin Peterson, Ross Taylor, Achak Kalis, आपके अभी फिर उसके बाद AB de Villiers, Virat Kohli, Glenn Maxwell, Faf du Plessis. You have the personnel to do well at the Chinnaswamy, man, and take advantage of the conditions and play according to the conditions. I've seen RCB also win the toss. They've also lost games like that, chasing two. But yes, overall, chasing is better in the Chinnaswamy, 100%. But yeah, I don't understand unka kya exactly masla hai RCB ka. It is confusing. I do, feel for their fans at times, but they, at the end of the day, it's not in their hands. It's the team, the players, the management, which have to make the calls. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, such a big franchise with such a big following and such big players, is very surprising they haven't won yet. But let's see what happens this time around. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the evening. Enjoy the cricket, enjoy the football, enjoy your weekend. Sorry, before I go, why didn't they build the new stadium? I don't know. That's a big thing. Me and Faz went to the stadium also during the World Cup. We were not impressed. I went in 2010. I enjoyed it. Zabardast atmosphere at the Chinnaswamy. It was loud. There was music going on. There was, the crowd supporting, RCB shouting. It was crazy atmosphere. And it was decent stadium at that time. But since 12, 13 years after that, I go to the stadium again, same infrastructure. They haven't changed anything. They have not improved anything. I don't know what the Karnataka Cricket Board is doing. I don't know if it's corruption. I don't know what it is, but that's a very good question. And again, this location of the stadium, it's in the heart of the city. There's so much traffic, it's not accessible. And the stadium itself needs to be renovated if they're not going to make a new stadium. They have to do one thing or the other. And that's what I think. But thank you, Karthik bhai. Thank you, Ibrahim bhai. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Stay tuned to Chasing the Target and catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.